It's the Oak Courier Royale.
Tune them up if you got them. Classic Radio Roundup.
Mine's already tuned up.
Tune them up, warm them up. Classic Radio Roundup, the warm-up session. Well, heck, it's just about time for the real deal now.
Okay, I'm pretty close. Courier Royale. I want to hear something.
What you want to hear?
I want to hear somebody with a base station / mobile old-time tube radio in a car.
I've done that in the past. I had my Regency Imperial in the car and went up to Happy Valley.
You had that the vibrator in there working good?
Yeah. Makes a whole lot of noise, but it works.
I haven't heard anybody do it yet.
I think I even went out with my Cobra 142 GTL in the passenger seat before.
Well, that's kind of easy, that one. I used to drive around with the 2000 on the seat. Well, I found my 2000 in the scrap pile, plugged it into the cigarette lighter, and talked about it.
Yeah, I'll have to take the Imperial out again. I can wire it up for 12 volts. I could probably do this Cobra 98 for that matter.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you're on, Spitfire?
Yeah, that's right. Cobra 98. Oh, the Metrotek Pacer, that'd be a good one. It has the mobile mounting bracket.
That's right. Something old like that with tubes in it.
Yeah, I got the mounting bracket and the 12 volt plug for the Metrotek. You like this Cobra 98, Sparky, or no?
Yeah, no, I'm liking the audio. It's very rich. It's got some bottom to it.
Ooh, rich bottom, low end, yeah. Yeah, no modifications required.
Sent for it. It's Courier Royale, man. Just keeps on working. I just gave a little tune-up and cleaned the tube sockets.
I'll watch them 30 tube sockets.
Yeah, I had to keep hitting it on the side. DTS!
Yeah, brought to you by your host, Dirty Tube Sockets.
I was a guy's handle on the radio back maybe 20 years ago. Well, that's pretty cool. Now it's the official time. 8:01 Classic Radio Roundup. Time to begin.
Got my tubes glowing.
I'm modulating. Got my tubes glowing.
High level plate modulation. 12 AQ6 modulating to 6 BQ5.
Yeah, that's what I think this has. I think it's got an EU7 in front of a BQ5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a sandbagger. Bag one's tree, but go ahead. Evening, sandbagger. Even around the band. There we go. Trying to get myself set up here. You running some glass? I am. Sonar FS23.
Yeah. Them sonars seem to be popping out of the woodwork anymore.
Yeah, I like this one. Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not on mine right now, but I do like it.
I'm impressed with what kind of power it'll put out.
Mine don't put out that kind of power. Mine's more stock power.
Well, I converted mine back. This thing's putting out just over 2 watts now, which is actually a little low.
Mine puts out like 2.5, 2 3/4, but I get 12 on peak.
Yeah, when I first fired this thing up, it was putting out 6 watts and modulated up to 25.
Woohoo!
There's a screen resistor, they strap on another one. So I just cut it out and that went back to stock power. Did that one come with the bracket or the base? On the receive side though. Sensitivity's close but not perfect. And the meter's really tight.
Meter's way touchy.
I mean, you give me a 4.
Yeah, my sensitivity on mine could use a little help, but it's really not all that far off. But I haven't done anything with it. It's actually better than some without doing anything.
I've tested the tubes. I've got a bunch of original sonar tubes in here, and most of them are still pretty good. Had a couple that were a little on the weak side, and I replaced them, but that didn't seem to help anything. The 6PQ5 final was really the weakest tube, because I was only putting out about a watt, and then I replaced that and went up to 6 watts.
Yeah, probably because they ran the crap out of that tube. Yeah, I replaced a few tubes in mine, and that helped it out a little. It helped out the S meter actually a lot, but I hadn't done an alignment on it because I don't have a SAMS for it yet. As soon as I get one in, I'll probably be able to get some more out of it. But all the tubes are in good shape.
Yeah, I got the schematic off of CB Tricks. The nice thing about the CB Tricks manual, they have the complete owner's manual for this thing, and it gives you voltage chart and resistance chart, so you can, you know what the heck you're supposed to be probing for.
That's what I like about the SAMS manuals.
Is it my receiver or is it pretty quiet tonight?
It's really quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, really quiet.
Evening, Ken.
Hello.
It was quite noisy a little over an hour ago, though.
That's funny how quickly it drops out. Evening, Ken.
Hi, Sparky.
I can tell you conditions on 10 meters have been good in the morning. I was sitting there the last 3 days in a row with an hour-long chat with my buddy in Wales.
Yeah. And dolphins, too. I talked to Aldo today.
Aldo!
He's always in there hunting around.
Aldo and Franco. I didn't work Aldo today, but I did work Franco. And I worked Franco on 020, and then at the same time I'm talking to him, there's a station in Colorado calling CQ. And this was at 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't typically hear stations to the west of me that early in the morning. Usually you're about noontime and on. 10 o'clock in the morning, he's calling CQ while I'm talking to Franco. After I got done with Franco, I swung the beam around, talked to the guy in Colorado.
Yes, your audio is very good.
Ciao, my friend, ciao. See you tomorrow.
From Italy?
Yeah, Aldo and Franco. Echo Kilo Radio and Kilo Alpha Papa.
Were they related?
No, they're not even near each other, really, but they do know each other.
Yeah, they're outside the skip zone.
Not on, I think they talk on 75 meters or 80 meters or whatever locally, but when they're talking on 10, they can't hear each other. But Aldo said it's Uncle Frank. the Frank. We call him the Frank.
Yeah, I think I've talked to Jeff in Wales and Mitch in Colorado.
I talked to Mick, M-I-C-K, Mick in Colorado this morning.
That's it. I just had it transposed on my pad there. Yep.
Yeah, he was coming in the back of my beam while I was talking to Franco.
Yeah, he's got a good sounding station, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he was only running 25 watts. I think he said, I want to say it was a Kenwood 590 maybe?
Yeah.
QSK, QSK, QSK.
Hey, Breaker, go ahead. Classic Radio Roundup.
QSK the roundup, QSK the roundup.
Well, QSK the Roundup, which is a sideband or CW term, but anyway, Breaker for the Roundup. You got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, breaker for the round. Yeah, got one-eyed jack here, unit 21. I've got a very high noise level. I can just about hear anything. I don't know what's going on. A lot of noise here, but I do have a copy of you. Over.
Hello, One-Eyed Jack. Well, I got copy on you too. I hear you down here in my volcano crater. Welcome to the Classic Radio Roundup. I got a very quiet noise level, no noise, and everybody was kind of commenting how quiet it was. So you got local issues there, One-Eyed Jack. Checking into the Classic Radio Roundup. Your turn.
Yeah, Roger, the classic radio round. Yeah, you're coming in good, but I said I got a high noise level. It's probably due to power line or something. I didn't have it last week when I was on talking to you fellas. Last week was good copy. This week's a very poor copy. Over.
Well, you're just pretty good copy to me this week. No real different from last week. Nice and in the clear, no noise, no skip land. I got it quiet here. I guess I'm blessed.
Yeah, Roger, no, you're not Spitfire. I know you're not Spitfire, are you?
No, I am. I'm the Spitfire, 441, Countywide Radio, LLC.
Okay, Roger, now, well, I'll tell you, that's how much noise I have. I can't even tell it's you. That's getting pretty bad there, over.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Sorry for your noise issues. It is pretty damp out there, and them power lines do like to act up on them insulators when it's damp out. You have to go track it down and make big complaints to your power company.
Roger that there. Well, I tell you, it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm on another set here tonight. I'm on the Baron right now. There's just so much of this damn noise comes in here, and it just wipes everything out. Well, listen, on that note, 441, I'm not going to keep it. Good talk with you, and I'm glad you heard me there. You're doing a good job as usual. Are you on the 250 PLs tonight?
Yeah, that would be a Roger. I'm running my Cobra 98 tonight by B&K. Long glass all the way.
Roger that. Are you driving the 250 TLs with it?
Yeah, they're 250 THs, Tango Hotel.
I can't even get the damn tubes right tonight, let alone the set. Now that's why you're duffy. It sounds more boomier. I like the Cobra set. You really sound good. You keep up the good work. I gotta go 10-7 here. I'm sorry, I don't have a good copy. I was hearing everybody else last week. This is freaking, that's why with wire antennas. Well, you figure a wire antenna wouldn't pick up the noise. Well, that's not true. 73 there, Spitfire. Nice talk with you. Keep up the good work, and thank you for letting me check in. Over.
All right there, One-Eyed Jack. Well, thanks for the flowers, my friend. You sounded good tonight yourself. Sorry you can't hear too well. Again, thanks for keeping us in mind here on the Classic Radio Roundup. And have yourself a great night. 441, the Spitfire. Frequency is on the clear.
Okay, Spitfire 73. Keep up the good job. You're about S6-7 down there. You're very strong. That thing's doing a good job. 73. We're at Jack 21 clear. Ciao, everyone.
7-3 there, Jack.
Are you gating tonight? I'm Mobile, New Jersey, waving a hand.
That will be a Roger Sandbagger. And who's the Jersey? Who's the Jersey station trying to get into this Classic Radio Roundup? Come on.
279. 279 Mobile, New Jersey.
Hello, 279. 279 New Jersey. 441 here, the Spitfire. Working this antique flea market glow on glass radio. Hello. I don't know. I guess that Mobile and Jersey don't have a grip on my lips.
Ain't big enough.
I can sign for you. He's over in New Jersey. I have a pretty good copy.
an alligator station out there.
I must have got blocked off. Listen, I hear you guys now. Busy.
Yeah, how about that mobile in Jersey? You got a copy on 441 here, the Spitfire?
I got you in the backyard. I ain't got you too close, but I got you a little bit. I hear you out there. I just can't put you in that good, you know?
Well, I'm sorry you can't pull me in that good. You're doing pretty good yourself out here, and I'm running some big old glowing glass out this way, somewhere around Pottstown. We're out here in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. 441 the Spitfire, working this antique flea market junk.
I think you said 443 in Pottstown.
441, 441, 441, Pottstown, Pennsylvania on this flea market junk.
If you on Pottstown 441, if you on Pottstown 441, I should get a little either stronger or better because I'm heading your way. I just left New Jersey and Philadelphia side by the airport.
Roger, roger, I'm down by the Philadelphia airport on the Jersey side. Well, you're doing a pretty good job up this way. Doing a good job up this way, my friend. We got it nice and quiet here tonight. No trouble at all hearing what's going on out there. 441 on this antique radio.
How about that Jersey over there? Are you at 295, over?
I'm on 95 right now, big brother. 95 by the airport. 279 now in Philadelphia.
Okay, there, 279. Yeah, you got you to 21 here. When I jack, we are located in the media area, and I'm not going to hold it because I don't interfere with.
Show you right.
We've been having some good local type conditions. They come and go, but like Sussex County, New Jersey came in a couple times last week.
Yeah, you gotta like it when it enhanced local conditions.
Yeah, Sussex, that's it, Sussex County.
I'm starting to get some crackling in my receiver. Something might be breaking down in this thing.
Start moving tubes around. You might have dirty tube sockets. I had the same thing. Then it went away when I moved the tubes around.
Yeah, I already did that. I'm thinking it might be a cat maybe breaking down or something.
I had to do the deoxid trick to all the tube sockets on this one, all of them, and all the pots and all. It was just took the relay apart. I didn't put deoxid on the contacts. I hit that with a dollar bill.
This BK Cobra 98, I didn't do a daggone thing to it, and I'm almost afraid to. Every time I do something, they work well and then go to crap. So maybe if it just sort of works so-so and I leave it alone, it'll keep working.
There you go.
That's it.
Idea of it.
Right? Just leave it alone. Let it go as is.
Well, don't fix it if it's not broke.
Well, it ain't broken, but it don't put out very much power all by itself.
The other thing I like about this radio is the squelch is silky smooth, man.
That pretty much applies to all these tube rigs. This Cobra 98's got a silky smooth squelch. Got that nice fade out section.
Yeah, this thing's really nice. It just swishes right in and swishes right out. Not a pop, not a crunch, not a crackle, nothing. Smooth in, smooth out.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go to my sonar for the second hour then.
That's what she said.
More than once.
I'll have to play music on microphones and see which one sounds the best.
I only have one for mine, and that's it.
I can put all mine on here.
Yeah, I need to make a phono to 4-pin adaptogranter.
That's what I got. The same one I use for my Midland and for that Courier, whatchamacallit, Gladiator. I had to rewire the sonar jack though, because the 2 two of the pins were reversed, so I rewired it to agree with my adapter.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten that far. Too many projects ahead of it.
Yeah. I want to be able to key this thing.
Well, I have a microphone that works, so I had no need to go further.
Yeah, I didn't. I could either wire a special mic for it, or I could rewire the jack so it would work with the adapter I already have. So I opted for Plan B.
That's the road I would have went down.
My mic adapter is not UL approved. It's just a couple of Molex pins, male Molex pins on the end of a mic connector, and I just plug them in at will, whatever radio needs it. This radio takes some big Amphenol mic connectors.
This probably is not UL approved either. Doc Hammer made the plug for this, and it's like, you know those, I don't know what you call them, I can't think of the right word, the electrical sisters, you know what I mean? You take two wires and you stick it in the tube and you crimp both ends, you know? Sister to wire or whatever. Well, he crimped the one end, and the other end fits right on perfect to those pins sticking out. So you just got to make sure that they're on the right one, and when it comes undone, you got to double check and make sure you get them on the right ones again. I guess I could number them. Take those sticky numbers and stick some numbers on there. But I hadn't gotten around to putting a proper plug on it yet.
Now that's a good universal adapter right there.
Well, they you know, some of them take more pins in use and jumping around than others, so that's not necessarily true.
I think most of the Panasonic chassis are very similar. Cobra, that probably interchanges with a couple of them, the 88. Cam 88's probably very similar.
Yeah.
Cam 88 and the Cobra 98 are identical on the insides, with the exception of the 98 has a SWR bridge.
Yeah, Allied, I think there was a couple others that use that chassis.
Allied, and there was actually a Sears model. I saw one on the bay. I'm like, that's the same radio.
I think I've seen one time.
Yep, one time. So there's at least the Sears, the Allied, the 98, the 88, and I think there was one other that I snagged out there. I want to say maybe it was Olsen, maybe? Nah, that's not right. But there was one other branded. I was like, that's a Cam 88.
Night?
That's it, Night Kit.
Oh, yeah? Well, look at that.
Yeah, the Allied, the Night Kit. Well, I think we covered them all.
Why is that doing that?
That's a Roger fart key up sound.
Microphone's here. What does this thing sound like?
Got a Q fart.
Yeah, I think it's not putting out enough power. It's giving me some chatter here.
It sounds stockish, but better than stock.
Working now.
Yeah, this is the super sidekick. I can crank it up a little bit, but now I see it's going to get a little mushy. I just want it to sound a little bit more natural, don't you know?
Didn't sound bad there.
I wish it would stop doing that. I guess I'll have to try to tweak this thing a little bit. It's not putting out enough power. It was doing like 2.5 watts. Now it's like doing like 1 3/4. I don't know why. Got another tube going south of the border, maybe.
Oh no!
Quiet.
Oh no, what?
You have a tube going south of the border. And I said, oh no.
Ah, okay, it's a response to that. Okay. Yeah, that's never a good thing. Although this thing does have forward swing. Yeah, look at that. It's doing real nice there.
Yeah, that don't sound bad. That's got that nice big CB radio sound. Come on, Brigger.
Yeah, this is still a super sidekick. I just cranked it up just a tad. It's definitely got more low end than the D104 does.
Yeah, but you only can crank it up too far, so far, you know, and then it's on the verge of muddy.
Sounded real good there.
Right. And, you know, don't want it to do that.
I think you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, stop by for a brewski. Yeah, this thing's about half a kc off frequency too, but the trimmers are turned all the way to max.
Check, check.
Hey, you do sound better if I turn my tune a little bit, but this daggone Cobra 98 is so broad-banded anyway, it doesn't much matter.
No, not really. I ought to try the +3 on this and see what that sounds like.
I got a D104 on the 98, and they sound the best on these things.
There we go. I am going to have to do some tuning. I'm going to have to kick a cat off on my lap here. All right. There we go. This is the Turner +3. I guess this is probably going to be a cross between a D104 and the Super Sidekick.
Yeah, kicking the cat and walking the dog.
Yeah, no pain, no strain.
Literally kicked the cat.
Yeah, the cat left my lap. Now maybe I can tune this thing. There we go.
That's right. Remember to keep one hand on your back.
I can't, what is it, 12, 11, 10, and 9 don't work in this radio. So I can't hear Bagger on 12, but I can hear him on 13.
Oh, there we go.
I thought Skeeter was going to get in there.
That's more better.
It's kind of funny when you think about it.
Everybody funny. Now you funny too.
Yeah, I don't have, my channel 12 doesn't work. So I can't hear you by going to channel 12, but I can sit right here and listen to you.
That's right, you're as broad as a barn door, aren't you?
Yeah, it's too funny.
I get down at 12 real quick to make a quick tweak, and then I guess you still hear me, albeit a much lower signal, I guess.
Yeah, you know, if you were a non-technical type, well, how could I hear you on channel 12 when I don't have a channel 12?
There's a conundrum.
Well, I heard you.
Yeah, I hit the antenna load a little bit and brought the power up. I'll have to do a better job.
Hello.
Hello, Classic Radio Roundup.
27.115 on your AM dial.
All right.
And there's Chuck.
Evening, Chuck.
Hey, hello guys. I was also down on 12. I make sure I have everything set here before I come in.
Hello, Chuck. Yeah, that works out great until you have a radio that's you've only got one crystal for.
You don't have, what many channels are you missing?
No, I'm just saying, like, if I was to use the multi-LMAC or something, I got one crystal and that's it, and I got to tune up where I am, and there's no other way.
Well, then you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
And then there's the Metrotek Pacer, but I do have a couple other crystals in that.
Yeah, you don't usually have to tune that one very often.
Classic Radio Net's out there right now.
Yeah, Bagger, I checked your frequency. You are on 114. 114.
1140? No, it should be 1145.
Well, I zero beated you on sideband, and you're 1 kilohertz down.
Yeah, let me see here. What does the icon say here? There we go. You are correct. Wow, it must have drifted because it's at 1140. Was it 1145 yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever?
I went there on my Kenwood. 114, just above 114.
Yeah, maybe 100, maybe 10 cycles. It's about exactly a whole kilohertz down.
Evening, Chuck.
Hello there, quarter wave Dave.
How close is this one on frequency?
You have to key down for a few seconds.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How about there? That should be long enough.
You're pretty much right on frequency from what I could tell. Maybe even a little high.
10, 4, just being just a little bit high, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, maybe 11505.
Yeah, you're almost right there, Dave.
10, 4, not bad for an old radio.
Good enough for rock and roll.
Old radio and an old operator.
10, 4, Cam 88.
All right.
You do any restoration work to that?
No, it's the way I got it. I got off some lady that her husband passed away and he had it in the attic. He was using this and bought a Cobra 89 XLR and put this in the attic, and she just gave it to me after he passed away.
Oh, very good.
Well, I shouldn't say after he passed away. It was quite a few years. She was on the CV, so she broke her hip, and her son made her move in with him up in Hamburg. She used to live up above Boyertown.
Yeah, break channel, break.
Got a breaker on a channel.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where the classic radio roundup's at. A friend of mine over here asking me, but he can't copy you.
Oh, you'll have to let him go because I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, we're having classic radio roundup right now. What's the question?
Where you guys located? I'm in northern New Jersey.
Roger on the northern New Jersey. We're over here around the greater Pottstown area, southeastern Pennsylvania, in between Reading and Philadelphia over this way. I'm just outside of Pottstown myself, the Spitfire 441.
Yeah, 441 out there around Pottsville. Sounding good over here in northwest New Jersey in a little town called Stillwater. The call here is 355. 355. My name is John. Juliet Oscar, Hotel November here, over.
Yeah, hello, John. Stillwater, New Jersey. Yeah, and we're at Pottstown. Pottstown, not Pottsville. Pottsville's where they make Yingling beer, and that's like 30 or 40 miles away from here. But we're in the southeast part of PA, Pottstown area. Chester, Montgomery, Berks County area. But you're doing a good job out that way from where you are there, John. No trouble at all. 355. 441, the Spitfire here on Classic Radio Roundup, running this old Cobra 98.
Those are the same guys that were in there.
Radio Shack 55, right?
Come back again?
Radio Shack 55.
Is that what you're running? A Radio Shack TRC 55?
No, that's what he's running over there.
Oh, the guy that can't hear us?
Yeah, Roger.
That's hard to participate on Classic Radio Roundup when you can't hear or can't hear anything.
Yeah, copy that. I don't know. Let me see if he hears you. I don't want to break up your thing there, but 427, quick.
Hey, 355.
Yeah, okay. Somebody just called me. Go ahead.
355, you copy?
Yeah, you part of the roundup?
Yep, part of the roundup. Sparky over this way, 355. Hey, is your friend out there? 427? Where's 427?
He's over around Ogdensburg, New Jersey. You got his call right, 427.
Okay. All right, just wanted to say hello. I heard you in there. Good to hear you guys coming in. Yeah, we're just up here in northern Montgomery County, outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah, Montgomery County. I think I talked to you the other night there.
Yep, I'll step back.
Okay, good. Thank you for the Q-Zone. I'll turn it back to the next.
Yeah, Yeah, it's kind of an open net, you know, just jump up and down until somebody notices you. That's the best that you can do. Sometimes we get fast on the key and hot on the topic and throw it around and this and that, but just be patient. Sooner or later, somebody will pick you up. Glad to have you checking in on Classic Radio Roundup. And just do a search on Classic Radio Roundup and on YouTube, and you'll see you made the video gate this week. I video the whole entire Classic Radio Roundup session and then post them up on YouTube. So look in the near future and you'll be able to see how you were being received on this end on my Cobra 98 there, John. 355 out there in northern New Jersey. 441 is Spitfire running this antique Cobra 98.
Yeah, very good there, 441. I'll have to check that out on YouTube. You put me on the water gate there. Sounds pretty good. I'll check it out. Okay, at 441, I'll let you go, and I'll take my QSO down one channel. I'll let you guys rock and roll.
All right, there. Good to have you with us, and stop in anytime. Yeah, check it out on the gate. You're just giving me a little over 1 pound, but man, your audio is carrying the day. Sounding good out this way. Thanks for stopping by. 441 on the side.
Okay, take care, and Merry Christmas if we don't talk again. 7-3.
Merry Christmas on Classic Radio Roundup.
That's CB Radio.
Sparky?
Hey, is that Gene?
Affirmative.
Hey, what's going on?
Hanging in there, just trying to stay out of trouble, and staying dry.
Hey, copy that. Yeah. Doing a Classic Radio Roundup thing here with this old Courier Royale.
Wow, sounds cool. I wish I had a classic radio. You know, I just got this new stuff. Maybe one of these days when I get a few extra bucks, I'll buy a vacuum tube radio.
They're like a lottery ticket.
Yeah, you gotta get with the show here.
Yeah, they are like a lottery ticket. You take your chances, and you know, sometimes you get off good and without a whole lot of work. Other times it takes a little bit of work, but they're all worth it in the end.
That's for sure.
Other times you give them away.
Thing in life, I suppose. Evening, Gene. Hey, Dave, how are you? Great to hear you. Doing okay. Hanging in there. Just figured we'd say hello while you were in there, Roger. Well, thank you, Dave. It's always good to hear from you, too. The Sage of Channel 13. Tad 4. Okay, I'm back on the side. We're listening.
The Classic Radio channel. Hi, Minnie.
Hello, fellow to the band. How you guys doing?
Well, there's the big Ron, Operator Ron.
Me and my little radio just got down.
Well, it doesn't sound little to me. You're 20 over here.
Yeah, that's right. Weird.
What's going on, Rob?
Nothing, just running this Cobra 1000.
Hello, operator. Once again, running this Cobra 98 glowing glass radio on Classic Radio Roundup.
You got it. And I switched mics once again. Turner +2 this time.
That one's real natural sounding.
Yeah, you like the +2?
Yeah, I'm partial to that.
Yeah, I'm looking for the sound that sounds the best on this thing. So if you think the +2's got it winning already, well, maybe this will be the mic I run on this.
I don't know, man. That Super Sidekick had a little bit more punch.
Really? The Sidekick had more punch.
I didn't think so. I like the +2 better.
Better than the +3 even.
You're on the 3 now?
No, I'm on the 2.
No, I like the 2 better.
Okay, well, maybe this will be the mic I run with this radio then, if it's the best out of all of them.
The unless you're going for closer to broadcast, there's a lack of high end, in my opinion, on the Super Sidekick.
Well, that's true. The Sidekick is definitely a more mellow mic. It does not have that pooch at the high end like some of these Crystal Element mics do.
I think CB radio should be heard.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you're going for that 70s vintage sound, then, the D104 and this kind of might probably fit the bill a little better.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I've been listening to you on CB radio since what, 1993 or so, and I just have what I'm used to hearing you.
Yeah. On that Navajo.
Yeah, I miss both those Navajos. The 441 and the 458.
I think you probably heard me a lot on the Yaesu 757 too. I used to run that a lot.
I was thinking about my receiving end. But yeah, is that what you used to run, your Yaesu?
Oh yeah, I ran that all the time.
See, I wasn't even thinking in those terms back then.
I bought that Yaesu in 1984, and that became like my primary radio.
Dude, you were light years ahead of me, you know. I was running, I think I first came on the air probably with the Navajo 441.
I had a 101E back in 82, 82, 83.
That's cheating.
I sold that so I could buy the 757. I want it brand new down at Delaware Amateur Supply, $750.
Too much money.
Hello, Hammer.
Well, hiya, Pete, Dave, and Dave.
Evening, Hammer.
Dr. Hammer.
Yeah, I'm in the house and check it in. Hello, Sparky.
Hey, Doc Hammer.
I had to put all the settings back on the radio. I forgot that they were changed for my slow scan operation.
That's all right. I'm going to turn the mic down just a little bit. This old tram's pretty noisy tonight.
Trusty trams.
This old tram sounding smooth over here.
Yeah, I've got an unamplified D104 on it. Thing works pretty good. You know, it's off frequency on a couple of channels, too.
I think that ails most of these old crystal-controlled radios.
Yeah, well, you don't know how much that makes me glad that the Super Bowl is one of those channels that's off frequency, down to the low side of the deal, so I don't have to listen to the bleed over.
Hey, somebody's running some motor. God, I'm getting noise.
Dude, it is so quiet over here.
I got this electrical noise.
Did you get the cat kicked off your lap?
Or something.
Again, Dr. Hammer.
I know, I think we doubled. Hey, Dave, did you get the cat kicked off your lap?
Dave, can you hear Hammer?
No, his modulation's so weak, it's getting lost in my noise.
Ain't nothing else I could do. It's all the way up.
Well, that's not you, Pete. It's the audio settings on the computer. This radio has a real hot output going into the computer. It's probably overloaded it just a little bit. I got the settings tuned back as far as I can.
I hear you, no problem. And there was a up there.
A long distance breaker.
Classic Radio Roundup. 862 Capt Barry calling.
862 where?
Captain Barry.
Oh, hello, Captain Barry. Hey, Captain Barry, you got a copy on this Spitfire?
Absolutely, got you good.
Wow, man, that's the first time I've got to talk to you, but you know, see you on the forum all the time. Obviously, sounding good up this way, Captain Barry. You made the video gate 441 of Spitfire.
Yeah, you're sounding good too. We're running the old Washington units in Washington. We're giving it a little help to get up there. We've got an old DNA Hornet that Alan fixed up for me, running behind it. About 50 watts.
10-4, Roger, right on. I'm using a BK Cobra 98 tonight, and I'm running a homebrew amplifier, some big old glow on glass. Couple 100 watts of carrier.
Yeah, it sounds great down here. Absolutely sounds great. Yeah, this old Washington, I've had it forever. Just a new come out of box. And the same way with the Hornet. First, anything like that, I haven't bought. Like I said, Alan redid it for me, and it's working beautifully again.
Yeah, well, it's working for you. You're definitely making a trip. Man, it's nice to have nice quiet conditions in here. All right, let me get off to the side there, Captain Barry, and let some of these other guys work you that can hear you up this way on Classic Radio Roundup.
Great guy got stuck. He's like, fantastic.
Who else had Captain Barry in there?
I have a very weak copy, but I heard him. My noise just dropped out. Hopefully it'll stay out now.
I actually picked up some noise. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's local. It's maybe something else I hear.
Mine just sounded like a motor running, but it finally stopped. Whatever gyrations they were performing, I guess they're done.
Boy, talk about the ever-expanding Classic Radio network.
Hey man, it's all good.
Yeah, Captain Barry, I got you. Okay, yeah, I heard you, no problem. Good to hear that DNA Hornet. The Hornet is, that's a two-tuber in there.
That's right.
Yeah, nice, nice. There was a beautiful DNA radio, one of their last models, blackface, like a Phantom or something on the bay. Man, it was a beautiful, but I hear that Washington and that Hornet making the trip all the way up here, Spring Mount ski area.
It's enough to get the job done there, Captain Barry. We heard you get through all the, we heard you breaking through there, so it's working. All right there, Captain Barry. Nice to have you checking in with us, and first time contact for me and you. So fantastic. Great to have you in there, no doubt about it. Fun with tubes on Classic Radio Roundup.
You running that console too again?
Who, Barry? He was running a Washington and a Hornet.
Okay, last time he was in there, it was a console too, and that sounded real good.
Yeah, Cecil County in the house.
Yeah, I guess we're tri-state now, ain't we?
That's like 60 miles away.
Yeah, that's not too shabby, is it?
No, not at all.
There's a lot of hills between here and there.
Yeah, especially for me. I gotta go right over, I gotta go right through, whatchamacallit there? The park there.
I think I gotta go through my own little mountain right here in the first place.
I gotta go through French Creek. That's at 950 feet.
Mine get through the cooling towers at Limerick, and then they get amplified.
And radiated.
Vectorized.
What's your vector, Victor?
Roger, Roger.
Over and under. Hello there, Hammer. I can hear you now.
Hi, Dave.
How's it going out that way?
It's cold.
Yeah, it's cold here too, but fortunately it's only mildly cold instead of really frigidly cold.
Yeah, it's been sub-zero here for a couple of weeks. We had 1 or 2 nice days in there, but we actually set a record a week ago, Thursday, 79 degrees.
Like hell, I'd love that.
Yeah, well, the next day it was 13.
Wow, talk about chip. I thought it was bad over here. I mean, it was 70 on Monday and it snowed on Tuesday.
Yep, doesn't surprise me. I'm going to take a standby, you guys. Pete, you can go ahead and turn the box off. I'm going to get on the server and listen. I got some stuff going on here that might interfere with the radio.
All right, take it easy. Don't make too much noise. You might scare some of them people there in your neighborhood.
Oh, I've already done that.
Yeah, they're probably pretty well used to you by now.
100 through the audio feed like normal. I'm back on the side.
I'm sure they're pretty well used to you by now. All right, Doc Hammer, I'll take care of you. Just type on there if you want to turn back on, and hopefully I'll notice. Classic Radio Roundup.
Catch you later, Doc Hammer.
Yeah.
Good to hear Doc Hammer on the band.
Absolutely.
That's right. We put a different mic on this here radio now.
So did I. I just realized something. This radio's got 2 relays in it. And I don't think it's designed, I don't think that's factory.
Mine's got a big ice cube relay in it, replaceable.
I got this big fat relay right underneath the antenna jack, which kind of looks like it belongs there though, but I don't see it on the diagram. And then I got another one underneath the radio. But on the schematic, it only shows relay 1. But this one's got three contacts, and the one underneath's got 3 contacts. This radio is full of mystery.
It's wrapped in an enigma.
It's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Enigma.
Surrounded by a conundrum.
Exactly.
Do both relays work, or did one go bad and they just put the other one at a different spot?
They both seem to key when I push the bar down here, so they're both working. But I'm looking at the schematic and I've only got 4 contacts. So I'm wondering what the other ones are for.
And 4.
I love a mystery. Somebody's hot rodded this thing, I guess.
Yeah, they bolted the final.
Yeah, well, it's got a push-pull tube in it. That's why this modulator's got so much punch. Single tube, dual section. Now, according to the diagram here, the only relay is the one underneath. Interesting.
Doesn't have any extra 1/4-inch phono jacks on the back of it, does it?
It does have one that's connected to the relay, but I believe that's the external speaker jack.
Okay, I was going to say they weren't using it to key another device, maybe an amp or something.
Now, that would make sense, too.
Hey, Sparky.
Hey, operator Rob.
Hey, do you think they make a filter to block out whatever's coming out of the LEDs?
No, because that's broadband. You'd have to filter it out at the source.
Yeah, like 15 lights, 15 lights all outside. Put something in line out of each light.
Have to bypass at the ground somehow, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something. It only affects 2 meters though.
You still got the receipt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, return them. Get another brand.
Nah, these are too good looking.
Now, you might have to go like upscale it. Get a professional brand of fixture. Did you get them at like Home Depot or Lowe's or something?
Yeah, I got them at Lowe's, and they're the most, not the most expensive ones, but they're expensive.
Yeah, you might have to step it up and go to like Colonial Electric, I recommend, over there on Henderson Road. They've got a good selection of professional LED products that don't have RFI.
RF-proof LEDs.
Breaker.
And another breaker.
Good evening, Time Channel 13, Podcast Radio Network, Classic Radio Rounduppers, and just us old farts in general. Good evening, Tom. I'm just on my way back from Manhattan, and I'm just coming into P-Town, and I just want to wave the hand and say happy Wednesday. Happy Classic Radio Roundup.
Hello, number 7.
What's going on, Dave?
Oh, just hanging in there. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah, man,
It's all good, man. It's all good. Getting close to Christmas and all that other nonsense.
You don't have to remind me. Manhattan was nuts enough today. Hey, guess whose tour bus I saw? Guess what very famous artist was getting off his tour bus and walking in the front of the theater where he's performing tonight in New York. And I yelled his name, and he gave me the peace sign.
Garth Brooks?
I would not yell at Garth Brooks. No, I'm talking rock. I'm talking folk. I'm not talking gay country now.
Gay country? Come on now.
Prince?
Anyway, I'm sorry. Garth Brooks isn't gay. I'm thinking of, Don't Break My Fart, My Achy Breaky Fart, that guy.
Oh, that's Miley Cyrus's dad.
Yeah, that's gay country. 10-4. Anyway, it was Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan? No kidding.
Bob Dylan's doing a show on some little theater there in Manhattan tonight at 8 o'clock. Well, it's probably already started. And it was 3:35, and his tour bus was just pulling up out front, and I was at the red light, and Bob Dylan and his band were getting out of the bus, and I yelled, "Hey, Bob! Hey, Bob!" And I started, yelling my voice like he does, and he looked around, he smiled, he yelled right on, and he gave me the peace sign.
Cool.
Well, I yelled some other words with it, but it's not appropriate to yell here on Channel 13. I might offend somebody.
Hey, Leisure.
Yeah.
Hey, when did you start hearing us? Did you listen in to see if you could pick us up? Like, did you come in off of the Turnpike or where?
No, I took the van, buddy. I didn't turn the radio on till I got into Valley Forge, and I was up on the other channel talking to George and Ron until I hit Saratoga. Then I switched down to 13 because I didn't want to bleed you guys over.
10-4.
Well, that's awfully considerate of you.
Well, I really killed Skeeter the other night. I forgot what I was doing, and I really nailed him. I was on 14 talking to 075 and my buddy Grasshopper, and I put poor Skeeter through all kinds of conniptions, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, number 7.
Alright, guys, I'm pulling up here at the apartment. I'll be back out. I gotta go to the store in a little bit, so I'll bump it down to you guys in a half hour or so.
Hello, number 7 countywide.
Hey, countywide, let me go barefoot. Let me go barefoot in the back of the building. I don't want to kill my neighbors. Good evening, Tom Countywide. Good to hear you in here.
Good to hear you, number 7. Just checking in with you, buddy. Do what you gotta do. 441 on this antique glowing glass, Cobra 98.
Well, now that I got this mobile 10, 8, and straight, and I'm happy with it, I've been out here playing radio more, and I've been having fun, so the radio's fun again. Well, for me, anyway.
It's all
Radio fun is good.
all about radio fun.
So you guys have a good one. I'll be back in a little bit, man. It's good talking with you. Happy Classic Radio Roundup, and we'll catch you guys later. I'm clear, you hear? 10-7.
I think I might be able to say Classic Radio Roundup, where glowing glass tubes are rule. Yeah, they rule, and everyone else rules.
I'm looking at some original Courier tubes in there.
What do you got, Courier 23?
It's a Royale.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that's got the new Vista in there. I think it's hooked up with this quieting knob. You rotate this quieting knob. I don't know if that's a noise blanker. It seems to just take all the hiss out.
Yeah, this thing's got a new Vista in it, too. Tim's got a neutralizing cap across it. You turn it one way or the other, the thing takes off an oscillation.
Yeah, automatic volume control. Nice big, looks like a mechanical filter in there too.
Yeah, this thing should have a mechanical filter. Doesn't have one, though. I see a good place to put it, right there in that one little spot there between those two cans.
That's why them screw holes are punched out there.
Yeah, right between the two cans.
And a 2.2 picofarad capacitor. Pull that up and stick a filter in there. Matter of fact, I do have a filter I could stick in there, probably. I don't want to do that. We'll leave it as it's supposed to be.
Is this thing working, Breaker?
Yeah, what is it?
Metrotek Pacer, come on.
Yeah, I gotta say, your audio's down there with Dr. Hammer. Help it. You're good.
Maybe it'll warm up a little.
Well, I can always put more fire in the wire. Hang on. Get this adjusted here properly to the right ratio. 441 on this antique Metrotek Pacer.
Oh, that made a big difference.
Yeah, fire in the wire with the Firebird. Yeah, take a few minutes to warm up. What's going on up there, Souderton Station?
Nothing, just saying hi to it, finishing up homework with the girls.
Yeah, a couple minutes warm-up time. It'll probably really come to life. It usually does.
Yep, it's sounding better.
Takes a little bit to get its second wind, or its first wind.
Evening, Tickle. Evening, Dave, Sandbagger, Sparky, Spitfire, and whoever else is out there.
Hello, Tickle. How's it going?
Good. How is it up that way?
It's fairly middling. Chilly. Damp. You know.
Oh, yeah. Sitting here doing first grade homework.
It's December in southeastern Pennsylvania. You know, this Metrotek Pacer has more modulation swing according to my meter, or power swing anyway, than the Cobra 98.
Go figure.
Yeah, it swings more power.
Oh yeah, it just sounds differently because you don't have an amplified mic on it.
It's the mic that it came with. It even has the Metrotek M right on it.
Can you throw on your analyzer?
Not quickly. I don't feel like bothering. I know this radio's clean.
No ghost watts allowed.
No, there's no ghost watts on this radio.
Nah.
Lots of watts.
Check this thing out too, just to make sure, and it's clean. There's a second harmonic there at 54 megahertz, but it's down like 55 dB, so I'm not worried about it.
This thing had low hours on it. This came from Timmy in North Wales. So this is a cream puff. This one, train approved all around.
Yeah, those Metroteks are pretty nice. It was kind of like Regency's budget alternative radios, but they're kind of cool.
Yeah, and I stumbled upon these by accident. Back in the Bridgeport days, I had one of these things, but I didn't have a Channel 29 crystal for it.
Yeah, so it was useless, and you got rid of it.
Right, but the channels I did play on, and I get on there and talk to people, they all said it sounded good. In retrospect, I guess I should have kept it, but hey, who'd have known?
Speaking of classic radios, I almost had me one.
Oh yeah, what'd you almost have?
Well, I was watching a Browning Mark III.
Ooh.
I missed out on it. I wasn't home in time for the auction when it ended. I think it ended at like $90.
$90? I guess that radio had problems.
Said it worked. Came from an estate.
Wow. I can't believe that didn't get bidded up to like $300 or $400.
The only reason I didn't bid on it right away was because it wasn't sideband. Did any of them come sideband?
Yeah, but they suck on sideband. The Mark III, I guess you just got the AM transmitter then, because my Mark III has a sideband transmitter.
This was a Mark III AM only transmitter and receiver.
Yeah, something ain't right in that picture, because the Mark III is a sideband transmitter.
No, there's two different versions. There's an AM only version, and there is a sideband version, but the receiver should do both.
Oh, I didn't know there was an AM only version.
Yeah, it was a good price for that.
And good price.
Yeah, it was $90, and I think it was like $30-some to ship.
That's what sucks, that damn shipping.
You got to figure that in automatically now.
And pray and keep your fingers crossed that the well, I'm looking for the right word that I could use here. Let's just say the fellow, just hope he packs it proper. The thing arrives without being bashed.
Yeah.
That's part of the odds that are stacked for the house. Other people say they take the tubes out, they wrap them up, and then they lay them back in the chassis, close it all back up, and then box it up.
Yeah, double box it and double wad it and double this and double that, not just shove newspaper around it and throw it in a box and send it in the mail.
Oh, that's terrible.
It happens.
Yes, it does.
Even when you ask the guy, please take care in packaging. Yeah, will do. And the thing comes a wreck.
Although I did get a new addition to the collection.
What do you got?
I got myself another 29 night watch, but this one, the night watch actually works.
Woo.
Hey, Sandbagger.
Yeah.
Doc Hammer says that extra relay in your sonars for the external 05 amplifier for dropping them all day long.
Nah, this doesn't. I mean, both of them look like they were done by factory. The solder connections look real good, and the one in the back switches the antenna, switches the external speaker, and then the one underneath, which is the one that's marked on the diagram, that switches a bunch of stuff too. But I guess the mic, the audio in and out, and I don't know, a couple other things. It's just kind of weird.
I'll have to open mine up and take a look and see what I have. I didn't look at the underside. I know the top side is super clean on the inside. Like, wow, look at that. This thing's beautiful.
Yeah, mine's relatively clean too. There's some scratches on the front panel though, which I don't know if I can find some gray paint that's, I'll never find gray that'll match it exactly though.
I heard it on the radio, and now I'm trying to remember where I heard it. It was talk radio somewhere, and they said it. You said, guy's out there trying to be somebody that he's not, and I lost it.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot lately in different places.
people trying to be somebody that they're not. Every time I hear that now, I lose it.
Yeah, it's got special meaning now.
And I'm like, I heard it on broadcast radio. I'm like, oh no! It was pretty funny.
Quit trying to be somebody that you're not.
Well, here recently seems to be a whole lot of people that are trying to be somebody that they're not.
Yeah, fake people.
Oh, I know what it was. It was that Stolen Valor dude trying to be somebody that he's not.
Oh, that guy saw in the mall or something and gave him crap because his flag was in the wrong place and.
If I seen a sailor in a uniform trying to be somebody that he's not, I'd be able to spot him. I don't know if I would have been able to spot that Army dude. I probably would have questioned the 3 combat infantry badges because I know the story behind getting one of those things, and there's no way that a guy that young has 3 of them. No way.
I saw a post, that guy, he also got arrested earlier in life as impersonating a cop.
Somebody trying to be somebody that he's not. He got called on the pad for it.
That's a shame, you know? People that try to be somebody that they're not, I guess they're not happy with who they are.
Yeah, that Stolen Valor thing is kind of annoying.
Yeah, I know. You know, these guys going around trying to get free meals and all, you know, try to play the veteran thing and take advantage of people's generosity. That sucks. That's like the lowest form of love.
If you weren't in the military and you didn't earn it, you shouldn't have it. That's just how I look at it.
Oh yeah, it's the only way to look at it.
There's no other way. Either you did or you didn't.
I'm just saying, like, you go to websites and buy all this stuff, and it's like, that's not right. That's stuff that you're supposed to earn, not buy.
I don't have a problem with anybody going and buying a pair of fatigues or whatever and wearing them around, but when you start putting insignias on them and then start trying to claim to be somebody you're not, that's when I have the problem.
Well, what I'm saying is they can go buy the patches. They can go buy the little, you know, the different patches with the different meanings. You can buy them online, and it's like, that's not even right. You can buy them on eBay, I think, too.
No, I know you can buy junk all over the place, and I don't have a problem with that either, because there's collectors and whatnot, and then, you know, guys like me, you know, I like to replace stuff that's lost over the years or new junk available and whatnot. But if, you know, there's no problem with collectors, but when you start putting it on and trying to be somebody you're not, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
I don't have a problem with people collecting all that special pins and patches and whatever. There's no problem with that. Just don't put it on and try and claim that you are.
Yeah. Don't you dare masquerade as a cook.
I'm still trying to figure out what I am to claim to anything.
Hey, Napoleon said it himself. An army moves on its stomach, so don't bash the cook.
Yeah, reconstituted eggs and.
Yeah, that's right. Powdered potatoes and dried eggs.
See, have you ever had food that was bad from a fat cook?
Nah.
And I've had even better food from a fat Filipino cook. If you have a fat Filipino chief cook on board your ship, you know you're going to eat good.
There you go.
Never went hungry in the Navy. Not once.
Shame on you if you did.
So you ate well in the Navy.
Just like the recruiter said, 3 hots and a cot. thing here. That was more, I just wanted to get out of my father's house as quick as possible. And out of all the services, the Navy seemed like the best. They'll teach you something, and you don't have to sleep in a jungle or the desert somewhere.
Oh, what, like the Army? Live, eat, sleep, mud. That's how my buddy described it to me. He described basic training as live, eat, sleep, mud.
Navy boot camp was a little bit different. It was march all over the place, do exercises in between all that, and maybe a school class for a half an hour or two every day, and then you know, march to chow, march to the next thing, march to the next thing, and it was like really like pay attention to. Uh-oh, my crystal fell out. My crystal fell out. And then it was all marching around from one place to the next. But they really spent a lot of time in, hello. They spent a lot of time in folding clothes.
You should tape that crystal in place.
Well, I need the big feet adapters. It's got little feet, and I need the fat feet.
Yeah, I had a couple of them around. They slide over the little pins and make them fat.
Yeah, I can actually. Crap.
As you were saying, for collectors, families, my grandfather's, what are they, dress blues?
Trying to get my crystal seated here.
Double key there.
Well, you gotta bear with me a minute. I'm having crystal socket seating issues.
Stand by, we're having technical difficulties.
Standing by.
Truckers here. They're doing working on their radio.
Yeah, there we go. I had to bend the little legs.
Yeah, I was saying, still got my grandfather's dress blues, and I think one or two of his, what are they, peacoats?
Yep, Roger. I got my dress blues and a couple of peacoats. Yep. I even got a Russian peacoat.
Oh, there you go. That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it doesn't fit me, but it fits the wife and looks real nice on her, too. Fits her just right, but I traded that for a pair of holy Levi's.
Yeah, 'cause it's Western.
Dude, Levi's were worth like anything, you know, you could demand out of them. Even holes or whatever, it didn't matter. Holes in them, didn't matter. Boxes of chocolate bars. I was going to the commissary and buying a case of chocolate bars.
As long as it said Levi's on them, right?
What's that?
I said as long as they said Levi's, right?
Didn't even have to be Levi's, really. It just had to be blue jeans.
Oh, what, they didn't have blue jeans?
No, they had no blue jeans in Russia. Not in 1990.
My daughter right here, 7 years old, heard what you said and says, that sucks.
I'm pretty sure all mine were Levi's anyway, because that's all I wear.
Those are the only ones that hold up. Any other brand I get, I tear them up in a month.
Well, the Wranglers are good, but you gotta pay for them.
Wranglers don't fit me right. They're cut weird.
They got them at Tractor Supply right now.
They got your slim fit, Dickies cut, Dickies pants.
Stretchy pants. What do they call it? Relaxed.
8-car pileup right there.
Yeah, 8-car pileup. I like the Dickies work pants.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The Dickies work pants or the Carhartt jeans. I had a pair of Carhartt flannel lined or fleece lined that fit real well.
And flannel lined are the bomb when you're riding your bike on a cold day.
Oh, those are a bomb on a cold day, period. Them things are great.
And nobody knows you got them on.
Bed with fleece sheets, you know what I mean?
And nobody knows you got them on.
It's a secret.
You too can laugh at the cold. Ha 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 ha.
You know, with what I do, I'm out in the cold a lot, so it's like, you know, when it gets into the deep freeze of winter, it's 2 pair of longies and a pair of fleece-lined
work in a boiler room, and I get annoyed when I'm freezing my ass off in there in the wintertime.
Doesn't stay warm in there?
You would think, but not on the floor, no. You gotta go, like, hug boilers.
Oh.
The boilers don't feel good when you hug them.
Yeah, but they don't insulate the building, and there's like louvers all over the place because they're worried about cooling the place down. But when it's sub-zero temperatures, you know, you're looking for ways to heat the place.
Trying to keep the boilers from freezing. You would think.
Well, the boilers themselves, if they're online, they ain't gonna freeze. The people will.
Can't we get just a little bit of steam? Just one up a call. Come on. Just one.
Suck it up, Sally.
Yeah, go back to cooking potatoes.
That's good. The eggs. See, that's what my father did in the Navy. He worked down in the boiler room of the ship.
That's what I did. That's what I do now. That's what I did then. That's what I do now. It's just the building doesn't move.
Only very little.
Depends on how rough the startup is on the generator, right?
Yeah, I don't need that kind of movement.
You know, I was just reading in an old magazine here. In 1977, January 1977, the FCC received 980,253 applications for CB license.
And shortly after that, they said, bag it.
Now you still had to get a license up until I forget what year they said in here, but you didn't have to pay for them.
Yeah, they dropped it to $4. Like, I don't know, 76 or 70, somewhere in that area. Then they made it free for the remaining years, and then they said, I think it was around 1980, early 80s, they dropped it completely.
Yeah, it was the early 80s.
And then we became licensed by rule.
So, in other words, if you run anything but a Class D Citizens Band radio, you don't have a license to operate.
Exactly. That's what licensed by rule means. You are licensed to operate so long as you follow the rules. As soon as you break the rules, you lose your authorization.
That gives them the authority to go after you if you're not abiding by the rule.
Yeah, they'll just come out and grab all your stuff. And then say, don't do it again. In which case, 2 weeks later, you go out and buy more stuff.
Who's that with low audio?
Ken?
Ken, your audio's down.
Alright, give me a minute and I'll switch that.
By the end of January, they had 8,159,176 licensed CBers.
That's a lot.
I got a letter here from the FCC that is refunding my father his application money because he sent the money, but then they made it free.
Well, how much did they send him back?
Just like $5.
10-4.
Here's an off-the-wall question, gentlemen.
Go ahead.
When, like yesterday, when we were getting all that rain and ice and everything, and I'm not just on mobile antennas, but I noticed it on my mobile antenna, when they get ice-coated, that seems to mess with it, at least in the mobile. Does that mess with the base antenna, too?
Ice messes with everything.
So I was running back a Pike, and my antennas on the work truck, they were just coated. Like, they had like a,
got snow on the roof, you want to clear your antenna off so that snow's not laying on the roof can touch the center whip, you know?
10-4. Well, I run the dual whips on the mirrors, you remember that?
Yeah, but I'm just saying too, I'm just putting that out there. That's the same thing. You want to clean that off before you key up.
Okay. Yeah, because I only have the one whip on the driver's side powered. The one on the passenger side is just there for aesthetics on the work truck. So I reached out the window, grabbed the whip with the glove on, and shook it until all the ice came off, and then everything seemed to come back to normal. That's what drew the question.
Okay, well maybe you weren't running enough pills. You need more pills in there to heat up the antennas.
I can't afford more pills.
Put them in defrost mode.
Yeah, I don't know that I get enough power to put the Firebird on the floor of the tow truck. Although that could help with the heating problem in the tow truck. That could warm the cab up a little bit.
Yeah. Get that heat sink as a heater.
Yeah, no, my work truck hasn't had good heat in over 2 months. The blower motor went, so the only time I get good heat or good defrost is if I'm doing like 60, 65 mile an hour, 70 mile an hour down the road.
I had a car like that.
You'd think if it was like any other vehicle in the world, you could just, fix it by either replacing the heater control switch or the blower motor itself, but not with a Freightliner. It's computer controlled, it's a 3-wire motor, and they use the ground. Somehow they use the ground to vary the speed.
I have sort of the same issue in reverse. My heater don't work except for high. It has a 4-position switch. 1, 2, and 3 don't work, but 4 does. so I gotta vary the temperature setting thing, But I'm always getting blasted out. Then I just get tired of hearing it, so I turn it off. And then like if I start getting cold, I turn it on and blow myself out of the seat again. So it works on high and off.
Probably got a restart in there that went bad.
I'm so annoyed.
Ballast resistors.
And it just happened when it got cold, of course.
What'd you say? You're a solenoid.
Now what's that, a Malibu?
That's right, 05 Malibu.
If I see one come across for salvage, I'll grab the heater control, the variable knob out of it.
Yeah, they're just contacts. Either you got a bad winding or one of the contacts is bad. I know my Metro, I lost a couple of positions, and I had to take the switch apart and fix it.
Yeah. You know how new switches are. They're really not meant to be fixed, but they are meant to be replaced.
I don't know how often I'll come across that vehicle, but if and when I do, like I said, I'll grab the blower control switch.
4, 5, and 6.
04, 05, and 06?
Yeah.
10-4.
Yeah, sometimes it's a resistor that burns up. It's not in the switch.
Well, I hadn't gotten around to doing anything about it right now. I guess if it goes completely, I will.
Hey, at least it works. Like I said, my blower motor don't work at all. I've got to use forced air coming in from the outside.
Yeah, that ballast resistor pack's a common failure point.
We're either high or off. And there was a blower motor resistor that bolted through the firewall onto the heater plenum, and you plug that in and it started working again. It almost looks like an inductor.
You talking to me or to Spitfire?
Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I can fix it myself.
Yeah, it's like a $20 part.
Chuck, here's a question. Did you hear my dilemma?
No, I was doing something. Just put the phones on. What's up?
2012 Freightliner, business class M2. I've got no blower motor. Now when you take the blower motor out and switches out, you put them in another truck, they work fine. Put them all back together, back in the truck, nothing.
A lot of modern trucks they manage their electrical harnesses with CAN lines. It's data lines. So you have a body control module, and then you'll have like a heater module, and like a door control module, just different modules, and you have to go to the dealership and have them hook up to the data line and launch the software to see what's broken. If you, some vehicles, if you replace the window motor, you have to reprogram it. It has to learn where up is and down is.
Okay, yes. Like I said, we had it over at the one truck shop, but they're a heavy truck, and this is a medium duty, and they didn't have the scanner to plug into it.
It's not a scanner, it's a laptop with the software, the manufacturer-specific software that will go in there, and it'll take them 5 minutes to diagnose it. The way that works is you turn the heater switch on. The heater switch signals the body control module that you want the fan on low or high or whatever. The body control module sends a signal to the climate control module requesting the fan be turned on to like low or high, and then you get a response signal. It's not like old school wiring anymore. It's all computerized.
Now, why are they going to make so many things so complicated? Because I remember back in the day, if your heater motor didn't work, it was either the heater motor or the switch, or the wiring in between.
Well, trucks have become so complex that they could have 20 miles of wiring in them. So they're reducing the amount of wire by using like 4 or 5 wires, and they're using data over them like an internet connection, like a CAN line, you know, communication line, and it reduces the amount of wires for chafing and stuff. It's actually a very smart way of going.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. That's why it frustrates me.
Yeah, you got to go to a dealer that has the proper software on a laptop that they can connect. You can't use any old scan tool to check it. Maybe if it's like a $5,000 Snap-on you can, but any old rinky-dink truck scanner won't do anything. It won't even see it.
Right, well, we've come to the realization we got to take it back to Freightliner, because all our Freightliner dealers are probably going to be able to figure it out. It's just a matter of either taking it to Philly or Allentown.
Yeah, so let's say your speedometer is out of calibration because you changed your tires. You go in there, you launch the software, you go to the instrument panel, you click on the speedometer, window pops up, you plug in the new tire size, and bang, the speedometer is now calibrated.
Ah, well, if they've got to put the computer on it, maybe I can get them to bump the horsepower up a little bit.
They might or might not do that. It really depends on who in your company has that authorization. If you're the driver, they probably won't do it, but if it comes from a manager higher up, they probably would.
Right, yeah, because it's got the, what is it, the 6.9, 240 horse, 240 torque motor in it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, the Cummings, it doesn't have enough up the hills for me. That, and I'd like them to take the freaking speed limiter off of it. It falls on its face at 74.
Yeah, that's a mouse click with the software. That's another program. That's Cummins Insight.
Right, and especially now that the turnpike's opened it up to being 75 or 70 mile an hour out half of it. You know, I'm getting walked by, you know, Priuses.
Well, that's something you can request. The truck probably is all set up stock, and that's one of the OEM stock parameters for governed speed.
Completely bone stock, never cracked open, never
one, you just have to, you know, show them that it's okay with your manager.
The owners are going to take the truck up there, and they don't care. They said, you know, they run faster than I do to begin with.
Okay, well then, convey to them what I told you.
Now here's another question. It seems like you know quite a bit about these. The Freightliner that I have, it's got the automatic in it. It's a what is it? 4-speed automatic. Somebody told me it's only a click of a mouse, and those transmissions are actually they're built and designed and installed as 4-speed or 4 or 5-speed automatic, but they're computer controlled down to a 4.
What's it, an Allison?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that. Is it a true automatic with a torque converter, or is it a manual with an auto clutch?
Nope, true automatic.
Yeah, because you can get a 13-speed Road Ranger now with the clutch is automatic. As soon as you rev the engine, it starts engaging. The robot lets its foot off the clutch, and then when you hit the ground speed shift points, it automatically disengages the clutch, and then you have X and Y motors mounted where the gear shift are, and it'll upshift and downshift for you, and then it'll also defuel the engine, so you just keep your foot in it, and it does everything.
Wow. That's kind of neat. Yeah, but now this one, as soon as you put it in gear, even in an idle, it tries to, you know, it'll move forward.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so that's an Allison manufacturer specific. So I mean, those are things you can look into. But I don't know about the extra gear. I mean, you can actually go into the program and change the shift points to give it better performance. Let it rev out a little more before it snags the next gear.
It shifts in a pretty nice spot. I'm not worried about that. I just got told that, you know, you go in and the software predicts how many gears the trans, I guess, has. And I was just thinking to myself, you know, for fuel economy out on the road, another gear would be nice.
Yeah, is the torque converter lock up on that?
That I don't know.
Okay, you get into high gear on level ground, and then it'll feel like it snags another gear, and you'll drop about 500 RPM.
We're taking it to a higher gear on Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyway, I didn't want to railroad the conversation. I'll just listen here.
Speaking of railroads, where's train?
So things a lot more quiet up in the Pottstown way now?
Quieter than what?
Than the previous months?
It's quiet for me.
Stepping aside for a minute, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Hey, buddy.
As my old crusty senior chief used to say, if they argue with you, beat them. If they still argue, beat them more.
That is the Crystal Falls.
Can't beat 'em, join 'em?
That damn crystal's becoming a problem.
Yeah,
Hey, Chuck.
it's not usually this much of a problem.
Yeah, Sparky.
Why would you say, why would it be quieter?
I don't hear Roger beep anymore.
Yeah, I think that's the quiet he was referring to.
I was just checking, yep.
Yeah, it's all good.
on the Metrotek Pacer because it's almost as broad as the Cobra 98.
And a barn door.
I think it does a better job though, actually. The receiver is more sensitive.
Really?
Yep.
A low budget radio actually performs better.
It does got a pretty good receiver.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, it took about 10 minutes to warm up.
Now I gotta do is keep the crystal in the socket. And you know, that's one of them projects I had forgotten about, was to make some little fat legs for my crystals.
That's a heck of a machining job there. Tiny, miniature.
Crap. Believe it or not, though, I can do it.
How about some chewing gum or silly putty?
No, I have one fat leg and one skinny leg, and it's a fat leg crystal holder.
How about a solder blob?
I probably have a fat leg around here somewhere. I'll never remember it.
Blob of solder on it.
I used to have a bunch of them, but they somehow all become scarce.
Yeah, same here. I used to have a whole bunch. Now I think I can scare off one or two.
Yeah, there was one sitting right down the end of the barriers.
OTR.
Over the road?
Yeah, they're out in my distance. I hit the preamp and I can hear them really good.
Oh, you're I swear, something's wrong with my antenna or something. I don't hear nearly what I used to. I used to hear everything.
And my antenna's got like near 400 feet of feed line on it.
Yeah, I don't know. My SWR is good, but for whatever reason, I just don't seem to be hearing stuff. Well, then again, this receiver is probably not up to snuff, but that shouldn't affect other radios.
Yeah, that's why I think as bad as my surroundings are, I do reasonably well.
Oh yeah, you do just fine. You know, especially to the east.
Man, I got down into Cecil County.
Yeah, Cecil County.
In Sussex County, they said Stillwater, right?
That would be correct. Yeah, Stillwater, New Jersey. Tri-state classic radio roundup. Now all we need is Delaware to check in. That'll be 4 states. New York will be 5.
We used to have a guy from Delaware that checked in.
Yeah, Flying J or something.
Something like that. He was down here around R&R or something.
Yep, you are correct.
Night trains, buddy.
Night Train's got a lot of buddies.
I had the 4.
Yeah, so we have at least 4 state coverage.
Ever expanding Spew Radio Network.
Live worldwide on Spew Radio.
That's right, where we keep classic radios, tube equipment alive, running, thriving, heating the shack.
Eating the shack.
My wood stove's heating my shack, but the filaments are adding to it.
Yeah, buddy. Gotta love them filaments.
That guy said he had a Hornet.
That's right.
I have one of them on the shelf. It don't work, though.
I had one years ago, and it did work.
Well, it did work. It did work. It just gave up one time. I got it at an auction up there in Douglasville.
Oh, no.
You know where the bypass ends, or starts, or ends, or, yeah, where it ends. Right by the bus place.
Yeah.
You know that old garage that used to be in there?
Well, there still is a garage in there. It's where the buses are.
No, that little one, when you come coming down from Pottstown and get off there, and they got that little garage where it's a repair shop now, I guess, or something.
American Tire, yeah.
There used to be a gas station there, and they had an auction there when they closed up.
Oh yeah, they had CV stuff?
They had bass, and they had that small amp.
Oh, no kidding.
I think I paid something like $25 for it back then.
There used to be quite a few CV operators in this area back in the 80s and all.
Like I said, I was going through that magazine. It was sort of like a coffee break thing. They had listings of coffee breaks and different clubs in the area. You'd be surprised how many clubs were in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all, because we had a lot of stuff back then. And I can remember going to a lot of that stuff, and, oh yeah, it was, I mean, there was a time, probably in 1977 or 76, in that time frame where it seemed like every third car on the road had a CV antenna on it.
Well, that's the year that their magazine was, 77.
Oh yeah.
My father's cars, they had CB antennas on them.
Yeah, you know, and like I say, quite a few.
The whole gas crunch thing and everything else just brought that all together into a perfect storm and made a huge fad out of it.
Yeah, it did.
10-4, good buddy, and then everybody got the southern CB talking voice. Come on.
I can't war.
Everybody always talk different. Like, why are you talking different?
Yeah, right. Truck drivers would be in there talking like they're Southerners, and it's like, dude, you're from Philly. They all talk like they were from the Deep South. They don't do that anymore, though.
Yay! Because that used to drive me nuts.
What's that? The Southern drawl?
Yeah, the fake southern voices and all.
Oh, I know. They were trying to be somebody that they weren't.
There's a whole lot of that going on all the time.
A whole lot of people trying to be somebody that they weren't.
Gotta stop trying to be somebody that you're not. I'm gonna drop them all day long and play Barbie music.
Barbie girl. Yeah, forever and ever.
Leave it to him to come up with some nonsense like that for his background music.
Well, yeah, he used to say his wife liked the song.
On Classic Radio Roundup, brought to you by Fred's Discount Voodoo Emporium, sole importer of Grandma Jemima's Ganja Dipped Stainless Steel Voodoo Doll Needles. If you want 'em dead, come see Fred.
Yes, and also brought to you by the 05 Institute of Technical Excellence, where we're running a special for Christmas this year. 1 SB220 amplifier with 9, count 'em, 9 3500Zs in them.
Yeah. Always somebody trying to be somebody that they're not.
The dumbest thing I've ever seen. Trying to get that kind of power out of 9 tubes. Instead of just buying one big one.
Here's one for college where you react.
What about Collegeville React?
Donnybrook Ballroom, August 12th, 13th, and 14th, 1977.
I was probably at that one.
10-4.
I went up there with Blue Bandit. No, actually, no, that's 77. No, I think it was there probably in 75 or 76.
That's when they had the one-day affair.
Yeah, it was only like on a Sunday or something.
Yeah, that's when they held it on a Sunday.
That's what most coffee breaks were. They were like Hamfest, you know, they were on Sundays.
Every now and then you get a two-day affair.
Once in a while you would. Yeah, let's go Barbie.
In a Barbie world. There it is.
Oh, oh, oh. She's a Barbie girl. Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, well, I had that at 40 dB over S9 for hours and hours, dude.
All I can say is it sucked to be you back then.
Yeah, it was not easy to be me, having him for a neighbor. But it's all good. It makes for good memories now. It was entertaining at times, but there were other times I turn the radio on and go, ah, good grief, here we go again.
I'm just glad we got enough of those recordings because sometimes people wouldn't believe us. It's like, here you go, listen to this.
Here's one for May 5th. Coffee break. Aleutian Islands.
Aleutian Islands?
Yeah, Alaska.
Yeah, I was going to say, who the hell's going up there?
Well, Aleutian CBM's radio team. Naval station.
Wow, even in the sparsely populated areas of the wilderness of Alaska, they got sea piers back then.
They all had fleece-lined pants.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a shame. I mean, I hear from people every now and then and say, man, you know, I wish I had a group like you guys have. You know, I got no locals up here. If the skip isn't running, I hear nothing. We should feel blessed over here.
With our Channel 13 Classic Radio Roundup. And then Channel 13 is active throughout the week anymore. It's beautiful.
On Spew Radio.
That's right.
Here's another one. May 22nd Jamboree. Bucksmont Radio League and Keystone 11 Meter League Incorporated. Lakeview Amusement Park.
Well, you know what we need to do, 44? We gotta build ourselves a time machine or something so we can go back and go to all these coffee breaks again.
Hey, didn't they say that they're going to allow a cruise night now in Pottstown?
No, really?
I think that somebody posted it.
I think they're too little too late.
I think they had approved for one night.
Oh, that was a while ago where the Monkey Man was talking about that and all.
I thought he said he put something in there that it finally went through.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that'd be a perfect classic radio roundup mobile edition. Cruise the streets of Pottstown.
Yeah.
Have to find a classic car for that, though.
That's how I remember using CB radio. Cruising town, and you know who's on the radio. Hey, I'll meet you up at so and so parking lot. Blah blah blah. Oh yeah, that's how I remember using it. That would be classic radio edition for me, mobile.
Was the same thing in Lansdale, except we used Channel 2.
Oh, you were around then?
I was part of the Channel 2 crowd.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Do you remember Grasshopper and, geez, what was the other guy's handle?
There was a whole bunch of them. Grasshoppers, that's still the same Grasshopper as we hear today?
No. No, well, he wasn't from Channel 2, but he was in the Channel area. And I don't know, I think there was maybe a little friction from there. He was on 14, I think, at the time. Was it 14? I forget now. No, 31, I'm sorry. He used to be on 31.
Well, there was a big rivalry between Channel 2 and Channel 10. Channel 10 is where Stewart was, and Channel 2 is where we were. Channel 10 was more of the mature, no-nonsense, and Channel 2 was like the, where everything goes.
They were the younger guys. Yeah, 31 was where, I can't remember Jay's handle now, but he used to be there. He was in Chalfont, I believe, and Grasshopper was on Delaware Avenue there in Lansdale.
Yeah, I probably know him, talk to him. It's tough to remember who all was out there, except for the guys that I really hung out with.
I used to ride around up there a little bit too, but because I used to be friends with Grasshopper for a bit. But he used to do a lot of repairs for people. He was the local screwdriver tech back then.
I remember cruising around. I was in Satterton School District, but we would cruise Lansdale, and we'd be in my buddy's van. It was one of them, 70s conversion vans and all. And if you're riding in the back, you really didn't know where you were because you could barely see out the windows until you stopped somewhere. But the CB chatter, was going the whole time on Channel 2. I remember that.
Oh yeah. No, it was a good time back then, but as the time rolled on, it started getting more and more ridiculous, and people ruined it, and that's one of the reasons I got away from it. Just like they ruined the cruising.
Yeah, they used to do the same thing in Phoenixville. It used to be the circuit in Phoenixville.
Yeah, you started to have people on Channel 2 get on there and, think that they owned the channel and they made up the rules and yada yada.
Yeah, people used to go up to the Burger King parking lot and they used to dump carriers and stuff. I remember that.
Oh yeah, Ken was around back in those days too. I know you're out there sandbagging, Ken. Well, if that was you, you had no audio. Nope, not a peep.
Nada.
Hello. There's some audio. There you are.
Alright, I think hello. Yeah, I can see the needle moving. I think it's working.
It's working now.
Yeah, Ken could tell you about some of the old radio days.
Yeah. Ghost and Nina and all them. Actually, Father Time. I miss him.
Oh, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Father Time, forever.
He had an old 70s or 80s conversion van that you rolled around in.
Yeah, I had a couple of vans for a while there too. That was kind of neat.
See, I always had lifted trucks or little tiny cars with big, ridiculous motors.
Ridiculous motors.
Yeah, let's just shove a small block 400 into a 1978 Chevy Monza.
Yeah, they used to do, well, not a 400, but they actually used to stuff shoehorn one of them, I guess it was a 305 or something in there, And if you wanted to change the back two spark plugs, you had to lift the motor out.
71 El Camino SS 396.
There you go. But yeah, that's what we used to start with, was the 305 Monzas. And I had a handful of them. Yeah, because back then nobody wanted them. I'd pick them up for $100. We'd take the 305 out and either shoehorn a 350 or one of them I shoved a 400 with a 12-inch wheel and tunnel ram and dual Holly 650s.
My brother and I built a 76 Mustang II with a 286 in there. We took the the 305 out, put a 286 in there. That was good for over 8,000 RPM. You know, the full cam, you know, balanced crank, forged rods and pistons, screw-in studs and guide plates, the whole big valves and everything. Anyway, this motor made like 375 horsepower and we put it in a Mustang II.
Nice.
289.
Yep, it was a 289, made 375 horsepower thereabouts.
Yeah, I'm sure that was a high revving motor too.
Yeah, it really didn't come alive till you hit $4 grand. And then you hit $4 grand and you took off like a bat out of hell.
Had a little 78, I think it was, or 73. Oh, it was the weird looking little ones with the round headlights.
Yeah, they started in 74. 74 to 78.
Yeah, I remember when that thing, that tack needle on that, it was the stock tack in the Mustang II, and it was straight up and down. That was when the motor really started to breathe and it took off.
Straight up and down was $3 grand, if I remember right.
I remember it being $4 grand in this thing. Maybe it was a little past straight up and down. Anyway, it was only, the tackling went to $8 grand, but the motor was good to over $9.
Yeah, they may have changed them with the sportier ones later on. Cause the girl I was dating had a Mustang too. It was a 75 and it had a V6 in it, but it had a tack, and straight up and down was $3 grand on that one.
Well, maybe that was the V6 was 3. On the 8, it was 4 maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I just remember that's where the party time was. I had that thing built when all the Mustang IIs were out and hot. I remember being out on the turnpike in this Mustang 5.0 was, you know, the thing, and he was playing with me. I only had a 3-speed automatic. I dropped it down into second gear and I punched it to the floor, and that was the last I ever saw of him.
Surprised you didn't eat that transmission with all that extra horsepower.
Oh, that wasn't a stock tranny either. My brother built the tranny with, you know, we had a high stall converter in it, and I don't remember all the goodies, but it had all the right clutches and blah-de-blah. He did all the build work on that, and I just kind of helped him put it all together.
Okay.
Was no stock tranny, was no stock rear. But yeah, you could drop that thing, to be doing 60 miles an hour, drop it into second gear and punch it, and you wouldn't have to put it back into drive till you were doing at least 110. I think I even seen 120 before I put it in third gear.
Yeah, now this thing's giving me trouble again. What the heck's going on here?
Yeah, the other thing we did, I had an old, I don't know what year it was. It was one of them old 318 gold dusters.
Oh, what, the 340 in it?
Well, originally it had a 318 3-speed manual in it. We bought a 340 4-speed with an 8 3/4 posi, but the body was shot. But it was an original 340 car. So we took the driveline out of that and dumped it into this, you know, stock-looking 318 gold duster with a white top.
Ah, you made a sleeper.
Oh, that thing ran. Hurst pistol grip shifter, the console, the whole 9 yards.
Here's sort of a sleeper for you. I had a 66 Ford Econoline. It had a custom stake body bed on it and channel iron bumpers, but it also had a 289 V8 in that thing with the 3-speed on the tree. And people thought I, you know, probably had that straight 6 still in there until I laid on the gas on that, and I was, you know, it ran pretty good.
Worse or
Yeah, after I got out of the hot rods, I went into lifted trucks.
I had that Ford Econoline for carrying bikes around. That was great for that.
Yeah, pickup van.
Wasn't the van, it was the pickup truck with the homemade stake body on it. I got it off a guy who had a big old fuel tank on it. He used it for refueling his aircraft. He would go to the airport, buy fuel, and fuel his aircraft at his house.
Yeah, well, but that was, I was saying it was a van. It was a van front, you know. It wasn't the pickup style. It was a van that somebody somewhere along the line must have chopped the back off and made a truck out of it.
Well, it came from the factory as a truck.
Oh, did they? They made the. Well, I guess they do that nowadays too. Sometimes I see them where you can buy the van, but it's only got the the cab part of it, and you put a body on the back of it. And I guess you can put a pickup body on there if you want.
Yeah, the Ford Econoline E100 van was also a E100 pickup truck. But they took that bed off and put a stake body bed, but it was never a van. I mean, they made a van, but mine was actually always the truck.
Back a bunch of years back when I was still racing Grandview, had my car. Dave might remember this. I had an it was an E450. No, E350, I'm sorry. E350 van. The front half looked like a conversion van. They cut it off right behind the seats and put this fiberglass cap on the back. They gave enough room to put a bench seat that folded down into a bed. And then from there on back, after that was an 8-foot dually bed. This thing had a freaking 460 with an auto in it. And a dually rear axle.
I remember those.
It was meant for pulling a fifth wheel camper, but we used to pull the race car trailer with it.
Yeah, I see a lot of those around. Yeah, with the van cab, and then they got a little bed behind it.
On Classic Vehicle Roundup.
The after hour show.